Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to invest in an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. Now, while we're going to be using the Robinhood brokerage firm, you can use any brokerage firm, which includes Charles Schwab, Fidelity Investments, TD Ameritrade, and all the other ones that they have. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on what are ETFs and how they work. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is what is an ETF. So an ETF is an exchange traded fund, and it is a basket of investments such as stocks, bonds, or commodities. Now, the great thing about an ETF is that they trade on an exchange just like a stock does, so it is easy to buy and sell them. An ETF does hold multiple underlying assets, which is great for diversification. So what are the different types of ETFs? So there are industry ETFs, which are ETFs that invest in a specific industry such as technology, energy, banking, healthcare, real estate, consumer staples, and many others. There are also bond ETFs, which invest in government bonds, corporate bonds, or municipal bonds. There are currency ETFs, which invest in currencies such as the United States dollar, the Japanese yen, or the Canadian dollar. And lastly, there are commodity ETFs, which invest in commodities such as gold, silver, and crude oil. So as we see here on Robinhood, here are 500 ETFs based on their popularity. So we're going to first look at the Vanguard SP 500 ETF. Once you open the ETF, it'll show a chart, and on the about section, it'll tell you what exactly it does. So as you can see, VOO tracks a market cap weighted index of US large and mid cap stocks, which are selected by the S&P committee. Going down here, we see different information such as the market cap, the PE ratio, the dividend yield, etc. So with Robinhood, you don't get too much information about this ETF, but you can look at details on another website. All I did was go to ETF.com in order to look at lots of details on this ETF. So as you can see here, it gives you a big description of what VOO actually does. As you keep scrolling down, you do see different evaluation and reports of this ETF and more charts. And in this section, it does show you the top countries which this ETF does invest in, which is 100% in the United States. And it does give you charts on the top 10 sectors and the top 10 holdings. So as we can see here, this ETF does have 30.89% in technology, 15.27% in healthcare, 13.29% in financials, 12.83% in consumer cyclicals, and it does give you a breakdown of the other sectors. Now here we see the top 10 holdings, which are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, and Alphabet, which is Google. And here we have more information on the portfolio management, the tax exposures, and the fund structures. So as we can see, the Vanguard SP 500 ETF invests in stocks which are in the S&P 500 index, and their goal is to closely track the index's return. So now going back to the ETF list, we're going to be looking at PowerShares QQQ. So as we can see here, this ETF tracks a modified market cap weighted index of 100 NASDAQ listed stocks. And here we have more information about this ETF. So going back to ETF.com to get more information, as we scroll down here, we see another fund description. And here we see the top 10 countries and the top 10 sectors. So as we can see, QQQ invests 98.43% in the United States, 1.32% in China, and 0.24% in the Netherlands. Here are the top 10 sectors, which are 62.99% in technology, 20.29% in consumer cyclicals, 7.75% in healthcare, 4.37% in consumer non-cyclicals, etc. And here we have the top 10 holdings of this ETF, which is Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Intel, Nvidia, Netflix, and Cisco Systems. And going down here, it does show you more information about the portfolio management, the tax exposures, and the fund structure. The Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. So what this ETF does is invest specifically in high dividend yield companies, which is great for investors wanting to create passive income. So once again, getting more information by going to ETF.com, we do see a breakdown. And as we can see in this description, the index selects high dividend paying US companies, which exclude REITs, and weights them by market cap. Going down here, we see that it's 100% US based, and here we get to see the top 10 sectors, which is 17.36% in healthcare, 16.82% in consumer non-cyclicals, 15.44% in financials, 12.03% in technology, 9.15% in utilities, etc. And here we have the top 10 holdings, which is Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan Chase, Procter & Gamble, Intel Corporation, Verizon Communications, AT&T, etc. And here we have the portfolio management, the tax exposure, and the fund structure. While there are multiple ETFs out there, these are just some of the most popular ones which are currently on Robinhood. As we can see, ETFs can be very specific in the sector or the index or the type of commodity in which they invest in. So these are great to check out, especially if you're willing to get diversified into different industries, sectors, or commodities. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned anything new, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you all for watching, and God bless you all. I'll see you in the next video.